Hello viewers, welcome to the Microsoft Azure Services demo. So in this demo, I will be creating a Kubernetes service using the Azure portal. So I'll go to the Azure portal and type Kubernetes service. So you can see Kubernetes services. I'll select this Kubernetes services. After that, I will go to this create button and then create a Kubernetes cluster. Here we can see the subscription, free trial, then resource group. I will create a resource group called AKS cluster. Then cluster details, cluster preset configuration. Here we have four different options. There is production standard, dev test, production economy, and production enterprise. This is for demo, that is why I will be selecting dev test. Then Kubernetes cluster name. So I'll take the same cluster name that previously I have created. So region, I will take Central India. You can take according to your choice. Availability zones, I will not take any for now. AKS pricing tier, it is free. Then Kubernetes version, by default, it is 1.28.9. Then automatic upgrade, currently enabled with patch, recommended. So we have different options. We can disable this as well. I'll select the same defaults. Node security type, three choices. One is none, unmanaged, and node image. Node image is the default one. I'll select the same. Then security channel scheduler, we can select no schedule, custom, or every week on Sunday. So I'll be selecting no every week on Sunday. After that, authentication and authorization, we have three choices. Local accounts with Kubernetes are back. Then Microsoft Entra ID authentication with Kubernetes are back. Microsoft Entra ID authentication with Azure are back. For this demo, I'll go with local accounts with Kubernetes are back. Then click on next. Here it is showing node pools. Automatically one node pool will be added. You can use more than one node pool. So node count will be 2 to 5. So minimum is 2 and maximum is 5. Other options, I will take it as default. Then go to the next tab. Here we can have this private access. So enable private cluster. So if we want to create a private cluster, we can enable this. Then container networking, it is Kubernetes, Azure CNI. So this is Azure CNI. By default, it is selected. Then being your own virtual network, we can select this option if we already have a virtual network created. But I will go with the default one. So DNS name prefix, it is giving us the default. We can edit this one as well. Next is network policy. So there are three options. We can go with non, Calico, or as last one is the Azure. So the load balancer is a standard. Then we can go to the next tab. So here we can integrate Azure Container Registry. If we have Azure Container Registry where we are keeping our images, then we can integrate that here. As we don't have any, so it is showing none. Otherwise, we can select it from the drop-down list. Service mesh, STO, we can enable that. I'm not enabling now. Then Azure policy. Then go to the next tab. Here is the monitoring. So Azure monitor container insights. If we want the logs from the container, then we can enable this one. Then manage Prometheus. So Prometheus will be deployed We can leverage these manage Prometheus options as well. Then manage Grafana. So for visualization, we can use manage Grafana. So I am not going to use all these options now. Let's go to the next step. So in the advanced tab, we have enable secret store CSI driver. In this demo, I am not selecting this infrastructure resource group. So this will be the resource group automatically created in the resource group section. Next is the tags. We can use some tags here like cluster, date, and then go to the next tab. Here, review and create. So it will go and validate the choices that we have made, and it will show us like it is valid or not. So our all the options were valid, so we can go and create the cluster. You can see the initializing deployment. So it is now creating the Kubernetes cluster. So deployment in progress. It's easy to create a Kubernetes cluster in Azure. We don't have to worry about our virtual network. We don't have to worry about subnets. Everything will be done automatically. This will take few minutes. I'll come back once it's completed. Let's refresh this. We can refresh this window. Okay, still deployment is in progress. Now resource got created. Let me go to the resource. Now we can see this is the Kubernetes cluster demo AKS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have these following options. Let me go and connect to this cluster. Once we click connect, it will give us the sample commands that we can use to connect to the cluster. We can use Azure CLI or Cloud Shell commands. So I will use Azure CLI commands. So I already have a Ubuntu WSL where I have already installed Azure CLI. Clear the screen. I'll go and copy this command and paste it here. I'll go to the next command, again paste it here. So this is to get the kubeconfig file, and the first command is to Azure account set. So it will set the account to the subscription, this one, and after that Azure AKS get credentials will just update the kubeconfig file. After that I can get the deployments. So all the commands are given here. We copy this command, paste it here. So these are the deployments currently available in the cluster. Let me do kubectl get service, and kubectl get nodes, no white. So there are two nodes already running. So as that pool, that is the minimum was 2, as you remember. Two numbers of worker nodes are running now. That's it in this video. Do like, subscribe, and share the video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.